you make I just did. The way you make I love you too much, I swear. If you leave me, you go bad. If you try go, you go easy. Now so long, go be your best friend. You go tell me, boy. If you leave me, you go bad. If you try go, you go. Now so long, go be your best friend.
For years, the Ghanaian passport has opened doors, across borders, across dreams. Today, we step into the future. With the new chip-embedded passport, Ghana is safer, more secure, and ready for tomorrow. We're working around the clock, literally, introducing 24-hour passport services, e-tracking at your fingertips, courier delivery to your doorstep, a 30% reduction in fees, and you get your new chip-embedded passport in under 15 days or in just 5 days with expedited service. Because your time matters, your dreams matter, and every Ghanaian deserves a passport process that is simple, dignified, and yours. The Mahama administration is breaking every barrier, so nothing stands between you and the world.
Right, welcome back. This is the review segment of the show. We are live from our studios here, number 48 Swanika Street in Abelinkwe, Accra, Ghana. Also in 46 South African countries via satellites, some parts of Europe and South America on Facebook. Join us at facebook.com/Pan-African Television. We've already started our stream. Also on YouTube, we have started a stream. And so if you are not on Facebook and you can't watch from your TV sets, alternatively, you can do that on YouTube. So, yep, make sure you leave a comment behind. I'll read your comments in the course of the show. Here are the topics for today's discussion. Real genocide are happening in real time across the globe. Mahama takes on Trump. Chairman Wontumi under investigation for fraud and money laundering. This is according to the Deputy Attorney General Justice Sremsai. Brownie Champon sets up committee to explore flag bearership bid. And there's a story on the front page of the Inside newspaper, looming danger. Wager residents refuse to relocate despite dam spillage. These are topics we have found conversation worthy this morning. I've been joined by Alhaji ABA Husseini. Of course, it's a Friday. Why not? Alhaji, good morning.
Good morning, bless.
I trust you're fine.
By the grace of Allah Almighty, I wish to give thanks and praises to Allah for this day, to say a good morning to your good self, and to thank Allah for giving us life and good health to continue to patronize this program. And then my brother Ramsey, he has gone missing. I've not seen him for some weeks now. I wanted to announce to Yoko to look for him. My friend, my very good friend Moacha. I want to salute him for a fantastic job he's doing. Those who think they can fight, they don't know the monarch. You can't fight the chief warrior with a mustache. Strong and solid. I'm sure he should continue doing the good work that he's doing. Bless, let me take this opportunity to pay special compliments to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for the great work he has done for the Muslim Ummah. Indeed, President John Dramani Mahama is a huge blessing to the Islamic community, to the Muslim Ummah. And this Hajj and other things testify to this. I can't see all the good things that he's done for the Muslim Ummah. In this particular Hajj, he was instrumental when he first rescued us. Bless, do you know that but for President Mahama's timely intervention, Muslims in Ghana here would not have gone for the Hajj this year. Because, you know, the Hajj is preceded by pre-Hajj conferences where you go, the quota is decided, other issues of accommodation, all these things are done. In the heat of the campaign under the MPP, they didn't attend all these things. And so President Mahama was sworn in on the 7th of January 2025. Less than 6 days that he had to immediately form the Hajj. Otherwise, it had gone beyond that period, would not have been able to go for the Hajj. And he had to form constitute the Hajj task force. That's why it was a task force, an emergency to go and deal with that situation. Ramsey, and they had to immediately dispatch the team to go to Saudi to go and commence negotiations, take part in this, and then for the mandate to be given to them to organize the Hajj. And President Mahama taking due cognizance of the critical issue of one, the fares. I'm sure you are aware the fare was 75,000. Yeah. And many Muslims who wanted to patronize the Hajj but could not do so had a legitimate hindrance, and President Mahama had promised to do something about it. Thankfully, when he gave the Hajj task force the mandate and asked them to look for a more efficient way of bringing down the cost, thankfully it was brought down to 62,000. That apart, President Mahama also facilitated for the establishment for the first time of a passport office at the Hajj village, where Honorable Okujeto did a fantastic job and brought people there to issue passports. You know, Bless, there have been times when, even before the Hajj commences, people apply for passports. The Hajj will end and even still their passports are not in. This time, through this initiative, thousands of people got passports within 72 hours to help the pilgrims acquire passports in order for the Hajj to come in. And more importantly also, when the pilgrims were traveling, he gave them free ihram, which will have cost sometimes between 350 to 500 per pilgrim. Free ihram, along with bags and others to carry. So I can't count. May Allah Almighty bless him, guide, protect him for the good things he's done to the Muslim Ummah. I'm sure that the pilgrims themselves said it before they departed. The prayers they will give not only to President Mahama, to Ghana, for the prosperity this country is now beginning to see. And no wonder the pummeling the dollar is taking at the hands of the cedi and other things. Inshallah, will continue to go, and then Ghana's economy will stabilize. And when everything stabilizes, it's for the benefit of everybody. The NDC in particular does not discriminate between the political colors. Any benefit that comes will be the benefit of Ghanaians.
Right. So. Right. Let's head straight into today's conversation. Saka Saria should be joining us shortly, but we'll start the conversation regardless. Once he joins, he will pick it from there. We all saw what happened last week when South African President Cyril Ramaphosa went to the White House, the Oval Office. He met with the President of the United States, the Donald Trump, and they had conversations. In fact, they were having conversations about golf when all of a sudden 2 television sets were wheeled into the meeting, and then Trump asked the lights to be dimmed. The TVs were turned on only for Cyril Ramaphosa to see, videos, pictures of white South Africans allegedly being killed and their lands being taken away from them, and then given to the black South Africans there. We all know that over the past few months, there's been some, bad blood between the United States and South Africa. And one person who has also been at the center of this is the man regarded as the world's richest, Elon Musk. It's been a host of issues. The report or the reportage has been that Trump ambushed Cyril Ramaphosa, questioned him, wanted to treat him like he did to Zelensky when the Ukrainian president also visited the Oval Office. But one person who has jumped to the defense of Cyril Ramaphosa is our very own President John Dramani Mahama. For me, it's not something that I see happen, especially when it involves a superpower like the United States of America and a person or a character like Donald Trump. But this is something that has, attracted praise from people that, it's good to solidarize with the people of South Africa. And President John Dramani Mahama has done the right thing. I'll start the conversation with Alhaji A.B.F. Hussaini on this one, what he makes of that whole situation when Ramaphosa went to the White House and the events that have come after that meeting. Alhaji.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, all of you once again, to your technical people, to the viewers of Pan-Africa out there, and to the Blichida people of the South Narrow constituency. Bless, you see, I have always said something, time without number, that you see, when you sell yourself for half-penny, they will buy you for nothing. Any man who thinks inferior cannot act superior. And so it has taken us, especially African and black people, a lot of people with that psychological mindset of inferiority, that the African is inferior and for that matter cannot rise up to the challenge of managing his own destiny. That is the worst tragedy, because the most important thing Allah Almighty imbued a human being is his mind. If you think inferior, you can never act superior. And there are lessons in history. Ramsey, if you go back to China, the Chinese had this before, when they used to think that the Japanese were superior and the Chinese were inferior people and could not perform tasks, until Mao came and shut them up in the 1966-76 Cultural Revolution and purged their minds that the best person was a Chinese and that the Chinese should think that they are on top of the world. And look at what China is performing today. We had our Kwame Nkrumah and others who wanted to do similar things to us. Look at what they did to them. Anytime, and that is the song even Bob Marley sang. Anytime you get a hero, they will rise up and make sure that they kill them, they destroy them. And that how long shall we stand aside while they decimate and kill our heroes and do all these other things?
Redemption song.
Redemption song. So it is the tragedy that has afflicted Africa and black people. And so if you have leaders who are racist in their thinking, who always look at the lenses of racism and think that black people should continue to even be second-rate human beings, and so they denigrate black people all over the world. I see that part of the problem is for us to redeem ourselves. Freedom has never been conferred on a singular party. It is the product of struggle. You take it. And so it is up to us as Africans to intensify the struggle to liberate and emancipate our minds from mental slavery, as Bob Marley said. I am not surprised about what Trump did. If you know the kind of rabid right-wing racist things that happens in those kind of things. It's not surprising. And I even heard somewhere that the pictures that were put were actually even not from South Africa. That they were probably picked somewhere in the time of even Rhodesia and the stragglers and others, long before. And these were selective things. And let me say something. Today in South Africa, Ramsey, the whites still control about 60% of the best land.
Yeah.
Today, how many 1994 was the year? Is that it? Yeah. When apartheid was dismantled, yeah, and Mandela came, is that it?
Yeah.
So that's about 31 years today. 1994 to today, is it not 31 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
31 years.
Yeah. So
31 years after liberation from the obnoxious evil apartheid system, where the whites took control of the overwhelming proportion of productive land in South Africa, the status quo remains. That is why even in the minds of many South African people, they was in, despite the fact that Mandela is the hero, it was one thing President Mandela did not tackle in the interest of trying to find a unity in the first few years. But today, it is a vexed issue, the land issue. That's why if you go back to Zimbabwe, where the land issue became prominent and President Mugabe had to, at the end, after the failure of the Lancaster Agreement and others where they had voluntarily agreed to do some redistribution, voluntarily through some payment by the British government. They did not. And so you ask yourself, when the boys and others were coming to settle in South Africa, bless, did they bring land from wherever they were coming from? They never brought any land. They came and met the people there with their land and confiscated those lands. Those were the products of either violence. In many of the districts, people were killed and exterminated before their lands were taken over. Okay? And so today, you can find President Trump turning the victims into the oppressors, and the oppressors into the victims. Because anybody who has a clear decision about the issue of the history of South Africa and how the land came to be in the possession of the minority whites as opposed to the majority blacks will have a clear idea of the dispossession of black people of their lands and their appropriation by the white minority. And no serious land redistribution has taken place even after the dismantling of the obnoxious apartheid system. So the issue of redistributive justice has been denied in South Africa. So it's a complete perversion of the truth and justice, and tantamount to rubbing salt in the wounds of black people. That what President Trump did is most regrettable and unfortunate. Because beyond being a perversion of justice, a complete working of truth on its head, it is a pain for many people who have been calling for the redistribution of land in South Africa to address the historical injustices that have been imposed on black people. And so I found that one to be something that is a collective insult to all Africans, for which I believe that all African leaders should have spoken about. So far, deaf silence. And I want to salute His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for not only the courage and the vision to talk about this issue and to talk about it in a manner that is dignifying for the African people, because it epitomizes the truth about the real situation of South Africa and the historical injustices African people have suffered. Bless, in this day and age, they say sometimes people want to learn that they say when the strong man's dog bites you, you give it to God. You cannot challenge that. There are many people who are petrified. Many African leaders and others are petrified to speak about this issue because there's a huge superpower involved. There was this story of a very tyrannical king who went and brought a lion, a male lion, as a pet. And this male lion was allowed to roam free, so it was devouring the livestock of the people to the point that they all got fed up and agreed that they should go to the chief and go and complain. But this was a very tyrannical chief. If you go and say anything, you will let them take off your head. So they all agreed that, look, if all of us go and speak, he can't kill all of us. So when we go, the first man will say, chief. Then the second man will say, your lion. Then the third man will say, it's eating. And the fourth man will say, our animals. And then everybody will then be part of their speech. So when they went blessed, the first man said, chief, your lion. Then the rest kept quiet. They got petrified. And the chief in anger said, yes, my lion, what has happened to my lion? They looked around, nobody was willing to say anything. They said, oh, your lion has come of age. It needs a wife. So it's a very good idea. Brought one and they finished all their livestock. So President Mahama has spoken. I want to believe that other African leaders know the truth and share the pain of our brothers and sisters in South Africa who have been unduly dispossessed of their land without any compensation. Let the voices rise up and speak the truth. And not only speak the truth, help our brothers and sisters in South Africa, if nothing at all, with ideas that they can come forward to ensure that it becomes an international issue through which restorative justice can be given to the people of South Africa. I think that the government of President Cyril Ramaphosa, and I have heard Comrade Julius Malema speak eloquently on this in the aftermath, and he was even trying to blame Ramaphosa and say, why did he even go to the White House in the first place, knowing what could have come after South Africa had taken on Israel to the International Criminal Court for the genocide it is perpetrating in Palestine. You see, so clearly, I think that Africa's voice, the AU in particular, must be heard, and it's in the interest of even the unity government of national unity in South Africa to begin to look at the land issue. Because if care is not taken and it reaches the proportion that we got to in Zimbabwe, where the state and the government had to take forcible land reform, it will muddy the waters. A more peaceful civil approach towards resolution of the land issue would do us good. For this thing Mr. Trump did, something has happened in the market. You don't make an announcement of it. It's very clear to the anti-African sentiment that some of them harbor. But I want to believe that for us, it is time for us to also take our dignity. As I've said, nobody confers liberty or dignity or respect to you on a silver platter. It is earned. Yeah. So we as African people and others must up our game. Must work to ensure that our dignity as a people is respected and upheld. We can only do that, like I said, when we earn it. And I have said that the one way, shortest way to earn it is to work for the continental dream of African unity, the legendary Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of this nation, espoused long ago in the 50s and 60s, that the panacea for Africa's woes and liberation lies in the continental unity of the African governments and people. That, for me, is the surest way all of us can redeem ourselves from this collective onslaught of denigrating black people and African people as the subhuman beings and others. It's most unfortunate coming from a superpower, undoubtedly touted as the most powerful man in the world. Very, very unfortunate and sad.
Thank you very much. Good morning to Saka Salia. Saka, how are you? It's been a while.
Yeah.
I trust you're fine.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Great. On that note, I'll turn my attention to Dr. Ramsey to also share his thoughts on this topic.
Yes, bless. A very good morning to you, and a very good morning to Honorable A.B.A. Fuzian. Indeed, it's been a while, and my brother Saka Salia. Honorable, I've not been hiding, just that...
He's busy on the street burning ties.
Without willing.
I can see your defense here and there. Is it how poorly you have handled the Hajj this year?
Oh, very beautiful.
Very, very poorly.
I'm sure we can have a debate. And
I mean, the Hajj matter,
tell me what
No.
all the things are happening. All those
I'm sure.
on social media.
I'm sure.
As clearly been debunked by
do propaganda with Hajj. You see?
The
poor condition will expose you.
Show me what thing.
I will show you.
There's nothing, you have nothing to say. You have nothing to say.
And let me take this opportunity to say a very good morning to the good people of Ghana and to your team at Pan-African Television. Bless. President Mahamad's speech reminds me of a speech made by Haile Selassie in 1963 in the United Nations, and I quote, and he said, "Until the philosophy which holds one race superior, another inferior, is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, everywhere would be war." Plus, in this speech, Haile Selassie was raising a critical awareness on racial inequality across the globe and was actually advocating for global citizenship. That we ought to be equal before God and man. And that our equality or our status as human beings should not be relegated to just the colors of our skin or the colors of our eyes, but how we contribute to societal development and, of course, our mindset. I must say that I am highly flabbergasted by the utterances made by President Trump during the state visit of the South African President, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa. And I must also say that I wish I was in that seat, bless. I would have made Africa proud. Because we are backed by history. You cannot change the past. You cannot manipulate the past, and you cannot manipulate history. We have been the victims of racial inequality and injustice till date. If you look at the global financial architecture to date, it has been tailored in a way to suppress our ability to develop economically and socially as Africans. And there are even conspiracies out there that are vindicating what these Western political bigots seek to achieve in the near future, as far as Africa's future is concerned, bless. And I'm sure you've heard a conspiracy on Ebola. I'm sure you've heard that. You've heard so many conspiracies on other epidemics that have emanated or sprung out of certain African countries. And the Western pharmaceutical companies that are using vaccines to suppress our growth. And that's, if you look at the statistics currently, 60% of the global youth would be in Africa by the year 2050. So Africa would have a young age population, very robust, industrious, which can be a catalyst to our economic development and prowess, which is indeed a threat to these Western countries as they age and do not have that adequate workforce to continue their imperialist agenda. I stand in solidarity with my brothers and sisters in South Africa, as our founding fathers did in 1960 when the massacre happened in Sharpeville, where thousands of South Africans, especially black South Africans, were killed due to the repugnant apartheid regime in South Africa. We here in Ghana stood hand in hand with them, led by our Sergeant Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and we supported their struggle for equality and freedom. I hear Trump lament on some white genocide in South Africa. I mean, if you look at the South African police statistics, right? Bless. If you look at the total murders in South Africa today, or the crimes that happen in South Africa today, only 1% of those crimes happen within these rural farming areas. And even this 1% recorded, a lot of black farmers and black farm workers of these white farmers are victims of these murder cases and these homicides. Yet still President Trump presents a picture to the world because they are America, and so they have monopoly over the media, and whatever America says is a fact. But we stand to be corrected. Bless. We stand to be corrected if what we are saying is wrong. Honorable Ebi Fuseni, that what President Trump posited out to the world was false news, was fake news, and was propagated by people like Elon Musk. And I must initiate an agenda currently, and Bless, we all seated here have to initiate an agenda to boycott the platform called X and boycott businesses that seek to be promoting this ideology that says that there is some form of white genocide in South Africa. That is a blatant lie. Look at what happened in 1976 in Soweto, the Soweto uprising, where innocent South Africans were slaughtered by the apartheid military and police regime at that time. What are they talking about? Where buses, public transport buses in South Africa had where white people would sit and then black people would sit. Restaurants, public toilets, there were doors for the whites and there were doors for the blacks. And who is even talking? If we are talking about genocide, the US should be the last to even talk about genocide or criticize any country about genocide. Look at all the modern wars across the globe. Look at how the Middle East has been destabilized. Who has contributed to that? And that is why I always say this, and I'll be quoted again in the future. I know that the rise of China is very important to global peace and stability, because it is only the rise of China that can be able to dilute this agenda of the Western imperialists. Bless. Look at how they killed these Red Indians, who were the indigents of the American continent. Look at how they cleansed them. Today, for us to know that the US is talking about genocide, please, we will not take scripture lessons from a drinking bar. The US should save us that. And if they want, they shouldn't even give me visa. I don't mind. I don't mind. Yes, I will stand in solidarity with my African brothers and sisters today and tomorrow. And this has been the spirit and the stance of our forefathers. And unfortunately, they have gotten their ways because we have African leaders that are puppets and are licking their boots, that are not fighting for the interests of their people. Go around the various war-torn regions in Africa today and see how the US is meddling in the affairs of these countries and influencing this instability in these various countries. So Bless, what I want to tell my South African brothers and sisters is that the lands that belongs to their ancestors and their forefathers have to be retrieved. In fact, if you look at the statistics in South Africa today, the white South Africans, right, account to 10% of the population, yet they hold 70% of the country's wealth. 70% of the country's wealth. Isn't that, I would say, a new form of apartheid? So what are they talking about? And I must say that I'm disappointed with Cyril Ramaphosa, because if I was the one, I would have walked out of that meeting. Yes, I would have walked out, because it is indeed a disgrace and an insult to the history of Africans. For 400 years, we were enslaved. Our forefathers, and you know, we are the lucky ones here, blessed, because we were not born during that era. Otherwise, I'm sure, as for Saka, Saka,
he's
well built. Oh, but now they'll put him on some sugarcane plantation. You know, these are the issues that we're dealing with. For 400 years, they enslaved our people, looted our resources, and today they look us in the face, and tell us that we are propagating white genocide. The audacity. Bless the audacity.
Right.
So our South African brothers and sisters should stand firm. They should retrieve all the lands that were taken from their ancestors. And indeed, we will continue to stand in solidarity with them till that kingdom come.
Right. Thank you very much. Saka Sanya.
Yeah.
Let's hear from you.
Thank you very much. Good morning to my two good brothers, and good morning to your good self, and the good people of Ghana, as well as the good people of the MPP. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this story. Happy because, I mean, the response is coming from our president. And to that extent, I continue to say that the president did well in his response. Because, why am I saying so? Even though it's not directly a Ghana issue, I think whatever that happened to any African country is directly linked with Ghana. Because we are brothers, and economically, if we were proactive enough, I think by now the South-South cooperation, South-South trade would have enhanced. We don't trade among ourselves. We don't do anything among ourselves. In trade terms, I mean, we trade among ourselves 15%, and this 80, the rest of the 85% is trade, you know, among Europe, America, and China. And I think that is not good enough. So our destiny is, you know, directly linked with our fellow African brothers. And come to think of the fact that this whole thing is emanating from Trump. And he tried to ambush Ramaphosa, you know, into accepting what is not factually accurate. I mean, I don't think the forum, if even there were, any genocide of white people in South Africa, I don't think the right forum was to just ambush a fellow president and say that why is this thing going on in your country and those things. I mean, there is a better forum to address such things, even if it were true. And especially when it is a complete, I mean, when there is complete falsehood about it. You presented some, you know, shadowy evidence that some people were being massacred, and it came to light that those people that you talk about that were massacred in South Africa were actually not true. It was done in Congo. There were so many inaccuracies, and the propaganda that he seek to achieve, you know, by that, I'm happy it backfired. It backfired because, you know, it's not as if anybody will be happy if white people are massacred or if there is genocide of white people in South Africa. I don't think nobody will be happy, especially when the South Africans themselves have gone through it, they know the pain, you know, of being marginalized, being discriminated upon, being maimed, killed, and called nothing. They know how it feels. And therefore, I'm sure they will be the last people to exert those vengeance on the white, especially as those whites living now are not themselves who perpetrated those heinous crimes. They are forefathers who did that. But it is possible some of them are still living and all that. That is the reason why we learn from history. I mean, we learn the bad things and then we eschew them going forward. And therefore, the South Africa people need, you know, a level playing field, so that everybody will be accepted as a human being. Because sometimes it's so painful that you live in a country. For instance, I'm in Ghana here. Just imagine that the whites who were ruling us, about 10% of them were still here, and they were controlling almost everything. I mean, can you imagine how life would have been like? And sometimes, I mean, look, go to Zimbabwe and see the land. I mean, even their farmlands being taken over by the whites, and they don't have anything. It nearly happened in Ghana here. You remember Mr. Saba and Co. had to stand on their ground and said there's nothing like ownerless land. That every land that you see everywhere belongs to somebody. If we had allowed it for them to, you know, to take a stronghold of those lands and said, okay, the land belongs to government, then that, oh, there are some lands that do not belong to anybody, so government will take it. By now, that government would have been the colonial masters, and they would have shared it among, you know, the masters. And today, we will not be enjoying what we are enjoying today. So I think that we learn from history. And once we learn from history, we take a cue and then move forward. That is how life is. So if Trump, I mean, Trump has never been diligent, we all know that. He has never, I mean, a president worth salt would have verified the facts, go through them, and then re-verify before even presenting it to Ramaphosa. But as usual, you know, as symptomatic of him, he just popped up with those so-called evidence, and look at the disgrace that came with it. And I saw that I'm praying that no country should ever, you know, pray to have such a president. I mean, really, I mean, Jobama put it right. Real genocides are happening elsewhere. We've seen what is happening in Palestine under the watch of the U.S., even though it was not under even Donald Trump when he was in power. There are people feeding Israel with ammunition and all manner of things, and goading them on to continue to commit, you know, genocide and all that. And today, it's sort of, you know, talking about the real issues. The real issue about, you know, having Palestine, having their own government and can rule themselves, you know, side by side with Israel. They are not talking about that. Is not an issue. The non-issues are now issues for Donald Trump. Look at what is happening. Almost invariably, the whole world is now, you know, up in arms against the U.S. He cares not. Got a trade war that he is peddling all over the place. You know, putting tariffs on countries. You know, almost every. Sometimes when Donald Trump talk, I sometimes want to say that this is Donald Trump talking, not the U.S. Because I mean, there are so many of his policies that the United States themselves are not happy with. That's the reason why when he go, you see when he goes to Congress and other, with his executive, you know, orders, they've turned a lot of those executive orders. They've turned it because it doesn't make sense, and I don't know what he wants to achieve by castigating everybody, making everybody look bad except himself, and he think that he can change the world, you know, all of a sudden. The only thing about Donald Trump that I like is his position on, you know, human sexuality. That's the only thing apart from that, he is one person that I don't ever wish to have a president like that. And to that extent, I think that John Dramani Mahama, putting, his ways together and registering his disquiet about that statement and what is happening in the world, I think is very important. And therefore, I hope Donald Trump sees it and should not, as usual, make Ghana look like, Ghana we are fighting. There's a disagreement in terms of policies, in terms of what he says and what we disagree. I mean, Ghana is a leader when it comes to the African continent. I know when South Africa even was struggling, Ghana played a very big role in the emancipation of South Africa. And not only that, the whole of Africa. I mean, Ghana, we are the pioneers when it comes to emancipation. We started in 1957. After we got independent, then the rest, followed suit, even including Nigeria. All of them had their independence after Ghana had, because they took inspiration from us. And therefore, we have a say when things are going wrong.
Thank you very much. You two can be a part of today's conversation. Let me know what your thoughts are. Text line very active. But let's move away from South Africa. A lot happening here in the country. Yesterday, minority MPs boycotted Parliament. They marched to the office of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, YOCO for that matter. They went to register their displeasure regarding the arrests and detention of the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Ntwibwe, whom we all know as Chairman Wontumi. The bail condition, the amount has been pegged at 50 million Ghana cedis, and that's particularly one of the reasons for the protests yesterday. Yesterday, you see the likes of Honorable Afenyomakin and the other MPs sitting on the floor, sitting on the ground, as a way of protesting the detention of Chairman Wontumi. We have videos. We shall be playing, those videos in the course of our conversation. But so far, that's what's transpired. The Deputy Attorney General, Justice Srem Sai, he has also come out to tell us some of the charges or some of the things or the grounds on which Chairman Wontumi is being investigated. Today, the Herald newspaper has captured it. It says, Wontumi facing fraud, financial loss, and money laundering charges. This is according to the Deputy Attorney General, Justice Srem Sai. Fraud, financial loss, and money laundering. Right. I'll start with Dr. Ramsey Yunusa on this particular topic. I know he's gassed. Ramsey, Dr. Ramsey will start, then I'll come to Saka.
Bless. I'm surprised the police hasn't picked him up. I'm surprised.
Supervising the burden of ties for six.
Do you see what happened yesterday?
Class lawlessness.
The arson on our roads. Do you see what happened yesterday? Plus, you see, I speak as a citizen of this country without fear or favor to anybody. And I speak what emanates from the minds of most righteous Ghanaians. Bless, the case of Wontumi is a test and will be a test to whether President Mahama indeed means well when he says he's going to reset Ghana. The case of Wontumi is a test on the current government's fight against illegal mining and, of course, fraud perpetrated to the states by politically exposed people and people that wield political powers. This case of Wontumi will be a test of whether the NDC can hold the MPP as well as government to account for the gruesome looting of the public purse. Yes, People will try and politicize this case, but indeed, I will speak on the facts of the law. The law is the law. When I hear people like Nana B and Afenyo Makin and some learned lawyers amongst themselves, and bear in mind, all the people you see there marching are people, except one person, maybe Madam Patricia Piaget. Most of them there are from Nana's People's Party. These are not real MPP people. And I quite miss the days of J.H. Mensah. Oh my word. Bless. I miss the days of J.H. Mensah. Look at the faces of MPP today. Look at how the party is declining. That people that were elected to parliament to defend and protect us, we the people, and our social welfare, are here marching to defend a criminal. Somebody who has perpetrated erroneous crimes against the people of Ghana. And talking about Galamsey, the fight against Galamsey starts with wound to me. As the saying goes, charity begins at home. The fight against Galamsey, I'm telling you today, if we want to succeed with this fight, it begins with wound to me. If we're able to tackle wound to me, we will solve all the Galamsey menaces in the Ashanti region and the Western region. I am not saying it. His own party member, the former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Abu Jinapo, cited and stated that Akunta mining was mining illegally in our forest reserves without permit whatsoever. The Minerals Commission came out with a report to vindicate such. The interministerial committee set by the president to tackle Galamsey, which Professor Frimpong Boateng was the head of that committee, wrote in his report that Akunta mining indeed was mining in our forest reserves. And to our surprise, the president came on the podium and cleared him that Akunta mining was not mining in our forest reserves. And today, I and you, Bless, and you, the people watching, would pay a price, will pay a cost to this menace, because in the next 5 years, we would have to import water if we are not able to stop the menace of Galamsey. Look at the people in the Western region today, the Bonsai Headworks, which supplies most of Takoradi and its environs, has reduced its water treatment by 70%. Bless. Look at the cocoa farms across these cocoa growing regions in Ghana today. Look at how our cocoa revenues depleted under the Eswab Akufo-Addo Bawumia regime. And all you can do to the people of Ghana is to match. Indeed, I want to commend President Mahama for being kind to them. Because if you look at the Public Order Act 1994, Act 491, and Saka says he's a law student. Anybody that wants to conduct any public, what do you call it, protests, should notify the police within 5 days. Did these MPs do that? And these are lawmakers. And you shouldn't be surprised, because when you have people from Nana's People's Party, this is how they behave. Today I'm hearing them saying that the president has weaponized his security agencies against them. Bless. If President Mahama wanted to act on the law, he should have arrested all of them. If we want to follow law, right, and speak truth, all those people you saw on the streets yesterday should have been arrested. And someone like Nana B, even, you see, sometimes when I speak, I get so, pained when I speak about these issues. Nana B is today walking around making noise, ranting. I'm surprised with what the Attorney General is doing. Where he was a deputy director of the National Service Secretariat, where the ghost names occurred. Millions of Ghana cedis were paid to ghosts. Meanwhile, we had 1.9 million young people under their watch, unemployed. But the ghosts were getting money that they're living. Bless. We were in this country where a young person by name Kaka in Ejura was killed in the name of fix the country. And some young people took to the street to protest about his gruesome killing. And what happened? Akufo-Addo and Bawumia used the military to brutalize these protesters, and they killed 2 innocent people. Has justice been served? Let me take them to their own courts. Paul Afoko's brother, Honorable Paul Afoko, who was the former chairman of the MPP, who was illegally removed from his position because he did not allow the president at that time, who was a flag bearer, to have his way and act in a contumacious manner which contravened the MPP constitution. What happened to him? His brother was accused of killing Honorable Muhammad Adams of blessed memory. And this person that we are talking about, Bless, has served remand for 10 years. Right? And all attempts to receive bail by Gregory Afoko was futile. And today you are talking, you MPP, you want to tell us about the law? You want to tell us about the law? This is a person who has been cited by your own party people, indeed ministers of state, of indulging in illegal mining. And I'm surprised with Yoko. I mean, what are they doing? They should have taken him to court and remanded him in Isawam by now. Bless, we are not joking here. We are talking about the lives of millions of Ghanaians and our future. This same person went to Exim Bank to take a loan of $10 million that he was going to plant maize. I didn't know that maize today has turned into Yokogari. Bless. This same person was caught on live television brandishing gold bars and calling it solid money. This is solid money. Today, he is crying that he doesn't have 15 million Ghana cedis to meet his bail terms. Where are those gold bars that he got through his illegal activities? Bless, this is the same person caught on live television speaking in I would say uncultured manner, where you can call or you can allege that as a former president was sleeping with his maid. President Mahama was sleeping with his maid. I mean, is this the way you want to communicate as politicians publicly? That a certain former president was sleeping with his maid, that whenever Lordina Mahama leaves the house, Mahama hammers the maid. Mahama wahamanu. I can't remember that statement.
It's not even worth repeating.
Bless. No, I want to say it.
I've seen it.
No, bless.
No, I'm not denying.
Bless. And I'm surprised why President Mahama has not filed a defamation case against him.
No.
How can you say that? And this person is a chairman of a political party.
Incredible.
Bless. Are we joking here?
See incredible things.
We are talking about the chairman of the strong of the MPP. A place where giants like Otunfo or Setutu the second hails from. A place where the former President Kufuor hails from. Giants. The Ashanti region. And you have this such person leading the party there. All the knowledgeable people in the Ashanti region, or all the Ashanti elites, you cannot pick anybody but this riffraff to lead the party there. this is indeed a test for President Mahama. We are watching. But the MPP should be the last to come and coach us or to dictate to the people of Ghana about the law. They don't have the moral rights or standing whatsoever. Bless. Look at what they did to Gregory Akufo. Let me bring them back to memory lane. Chachuti Kata. In 1991, when he served as the CEO of JMPC, right? There was a loan that he gave to one cocoa farming private company, about 230,000 cedis. He was taken to court in 2002, right? By 2018, Chachuti Kata was jailed for 5 years. And as he won his appeal case, the judge stated that what happened to Chachuti Kata was unfair and it was a miscarriage of justice. Today they are here talking about the law. I'm surprised. Under their watch, our judiciary has declined. Look at the Mo Ibrahim Governance Index. That states that the judiciary autonomy of Ghana has declined by 50%. And they have the effrontery and the guts to come and dictate to us about the law and to tell us about the law. They should be the last. And as I keep on saying that the Ghanaian society would never take scripture lessons from a drinking bar. Talking about even Wontumi. Wontumi was brought into the MPP and nurtured by Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin. If you don't know that, for the record, I'm telling you today. Yes, it was Alan Tremantin that raised Wontumi up and elevated him into the stature that he has today. Yet still, yes, yet still, when you rose to that rank, you looked at this man who helped you and you spat on his face. You don't bite the hands that feeds you. Bless, I rest my case.
Saga Salia.
Yeah,
so MPs, are you in solidarity with them?
Yeah, I think that by now everybody would have known my stand on this matter.
Well, I don't.
No, you should have known. You ought to know my stand on this matter. And you know how I have fought extrajudicial matters. I mean, people want to perpetrate and shelve democratic tenants and use their own tenants to rule. I mean, we have taken them to court on several occasions and all that. But first of all, you should know that we are in a democracy and we have rule of law. Laws have to work. Nobody is saying that if somebody commits a crime, the person should not be brought to the law, or the law should not be brought to that person. But in the process of the law, I mean, the process of ensuring that the law works, there are procedures that must be followed. But it seemed to me, I mean, it's not even seemed to, it is now palpable, clear to all and sundry that the NDC is not, you know, thinking about the law. What they are thinking about is intimidation. What they are thinking about is a perversion of the laws of this country. What they are thinking about is to show where power lies. What they are thinking about is a malicious prosecutions and all manner of reasons other than the real law. Because my brother is just talking about illegal mining, all those things are allegations. They are allegations. Until proven guilty, or he himself, you know, accepting his guilt, you cannot come to the conclusion just because somebody said that, oh, he was mining illegally. So because of that, he is a criminal, or because of that, he has committed that crime. No. He has to be treated as innocent until proven, you know, otherwise. No, I mean that is the law. Wow. And we have followed this law rigorously over the years. So what happened to please. And if you look at, it's not only even Wontumi. There are all manner of people. For instance, when the NDC assumed power, the first thing they did was, after the Attorney General was appointed, the first thing he did was, oh, we understand and NDC people are being prosecuted. all of them should go home and rest. Not the prosecutor, all of them. And even to the extent that some of them even protested about freeing them, about their knowledge prosecutor. You remember Jechikwesi? How is it pronounced? Jechikwesi.
Those assassinated.
Jechikwesi. The Jechikwesi case. Yeah, the Jechikwesi case. Chiketa asked the council. They said, no. Attorney General, we are not going to accept your knowledge prosecutor on us. We will fight our own case. And do you know what will happen? I don't even know whether the case has do you know what happened? The Attorney General who says that, oh, go home and rest, and then they say we won't go and rest. He won't go and fight the case. Even if he go, it's just going to be wishy-washy term, so that they will get their day. And if you are saying that some people have committed crime and you are vigorously ensuring that you prosecute those people, why left loose others? I know it is law. I mean, the Attorney General can decide to prosecute or not. It's a discretion, vested in him or her under the 1992 Constitution, Article 88. So he can do that. But you see, you have to do that with clear conscience, with the law in mind. But they are not doing that. And apart from Wuntumi, and I told you of others like the ransack of the home of Foyata, the governor of Bank of Ghana, Adenta Kumi, and all manner of people. They just go, use sledgehammer, and kill an ant. If you are going to arrest an innocuous person like Adenta Kumi, somebody who cannot even kill a fly, you go there with ammunitions and war regalia of about 20 armed, and then what do you call it? People that are wearing masks, just to arrest a person that is very harmless. Look at Wuntimi matter. They are preferring all manner of charges. Now, BNI and NIB had gone to his house to ransack. They could not get him. He himself presented himself to the court, to the BNI, NIB. He himself went there on his own volition after the NIB people went and then did not see him. It means that this is a person that wants to subject himself to the law. This is not a flight risk human being. He's not going to run away. This is a person that is known. Even when we talk about bail condition, it's not for anything that that bail conditions and all those things have become issues in court. Now we all know that there is no unbailable offenses. Even murder case, you can bail the person. You have a situation where somebody says that I'm putting 50 million Ghana cedis on as your bail condition, and 2 sureties to be justified. When Wuntimi himself is a justification himself, Wuntimi is somebody that can use his own image as self-recognizable, for self-recognizable.
What image does he have?
He has a lot of image.
Which image?
I mean, you know it. Wuntimi is known in this country more than you.
If it's about political rivers, about political rivers and killing people,
Wuntimi and you cannot compare yourself to Wuntimi. But get that clear. Wuntimi is very recognizable. He will run away. He has a lot of resources in this country.
So he should bail himself.
Please.
You can't produce bail.
But you cannot use bail condition as punishment. You cannot use bail condition, because bail condition is you cannot use it as punishment, because
I'm sure Gregory
listen. I don't know what you are talking about, the Kofu, and these are 2 different cases with 2 different things.
I see.
And I'm saying that if we believe in the rule of law, if we say that we believe in the rule of law and indeed want to fight corruption, it does not matter those allegations. Exim Bank loan. I mean, if Exim Bank gives somebody loan, has Exim Bank come to the court or UECO or anywhere to say that, oh, somebody, we are giving loan to somebody or grant to somebody, the person has not fulfilled the conditions, and therefore we are complaining to you to do something? No, this is a matter of, it's a court matter, and that should not even be a criminal matter. Which to me would be made to pay whatever, depending on whether or not he has breached the loan condition. It is not about somebody going to arrest him in a Rambo style, use some cars and then cordon him, and then arrest him and then take him and say that, even at a point when everybody knows that he was sick, his medical, medicine that was to be presented to him were denied him. And I even understand they even use gun to hit his left arm and other things.
You saw it.
All this is. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I saw on the television when a young man was interviewed, and then that young man said that he was there. He said,
so
"Well,
yes,
I witnessed."
He was battered.
Yeah, that's what the young man said. That he is an eyewitness to the matter, and then he narrated all that happened. I'm saying that this is complete. A stranger to the guided democracy that we have subjected ourselves to. Look, if we think that what is happening to me today is good, if you say, would you be happy if you are subjected to same tomorrow?
Are you asking?
When you ask them, they will go and be referring you to years and all that. I'm coming. Do you know that? That is the reason why, you see, with ravages of time, a human being is also supposed to be more experienced, more knowledgeable, and therefore will not repeat wrongs of the past. But if you have people, that's it. Today,
wrongs of the past. So he has admitted.
No, listen. I have not admitted APP did anything wrong in the past.
So what are you saying? Which ones? So what are you?
We are talking English. I gave a general statement.
Oh boy.
I gave a general statement that when time passes, every human being is supposed to be more experienced and all that, and therefore the mistakes that you commit in the past, you will not be repeating them going forward. That's a general statement. It has nothing to do with NPP or any other thing. I'm saying if you take our constitution today, when the constitution was promulgated, there were a lot of things that we corrected because we were in the nascent stage of the constitution and therefore very experimental. Therefore, we needed to pass through the constitution in order to get experience and all that. For instance, if a president nominates ministers, from the previous regime, I mean, this whole matter, they should not be vetted and all that. That led to court decisions and all that. So we learned from it. There are other issues like the APP versus IGP issues. When you talk about, unlawful demonstrations and all those things, we now become more knowledgeable. We understand it. We go forward. Even when the absence of vice president and from there are so many things that we have learned as a nation. But these people, when they are massacring the constitution and doing extrajudicial things, and you want to talk, they will go and be referring you to things that the buried issues, things that have been buried. They will go and then resurrect them and come and show them to you that this thing also happened in the past. So where from the knowledge as human beings that we should learn from our past and move forward? I'm saying all these things that they are doing is like they want to put the fear of God in the NPP. They want to intimidate them, let them know they are no longer in power and all that. If not, I don't understand what is happening. Look at what this fake doctor. Up to now, nobody is talking about how to go and arrest him. You are talking about false publication of news by Adenta Kume. When the lady has not just even false, giving false, publication. She forged document, brought the whole institution of the health service into disrepute. make Ghana look like jokers. And they are here just writing news to come and defend those people. I'm shocked that the ADC that people, queue to vote for is delivering nothing to us. They are retrogressing this nation when it comes to our democracy. And they will be here defending those sort of things. For me, Wontimi must be freed. Wontimi can be subjected to, whatever allegations in court, but his rights and dignity as a human being must be respected.
Thank you very much, Saka Salia. I'll read a few messages, then I'll come to Alhaji Abi Fuseni. Good morning, sir. I'm Emmanuel from Kumasi. You see, Saka has nothing to say. He has said to bring his own topic. They are not serious in this country. MPP, go and rest. This one here says that, good morning, bless. Galatians 6:7 says, a man will report his source. Proverbs 17:13 also states that evil will never depart from the house of whoever pays good with evil. It's not the case that Wontimi is enjoying the fruits of the seed he planted in relation to how he paid Alan with evil instead of being grateful to him. Uncle Gabi from Wamfie sent this one. Good morning, Uncle Gabi. Thank you so much for always doing the watching. Good morning, bless. My brother Saka is suffering from Baumia virus. He has no point. Kaiser, aka Kpebu in Chechima. Okay, thank you. I strongly condemn the minority's reckless decision to boycott Parliament over the arrest and lawful detention of Chairman Wontimi. This shameful act is a clear betrayal of their constitutional duty and a desperate attempt to promote corrupt activities. Under their watch, greed and mismanagement drained our national coffers, plunging Ghana into excruciating hardships. Instead of standing for justice and accountability, they now defend lawlessness. I urge constituents of these MPs to let them suffer a humiliating defeat in the next election. Does Saka really listen to himself? Daniel Akbaliok from Sandema. Okay, thank you. Good morning, host. Wontimi should stop crying like a baby and face the law. It has become fashionable for him to fake illness whenever he's in trouble. Remember when he was summoned by Otumfo after declaring himself a rival king in Ashanti? As for the minority vandals, the least said about them, the better. Whether they sleep on the street or not, the law is the law. MPP should stop threatening to revenge because the victims of the oppressive rule are waiting to give them 10% in 2028. Jane Mensah and her vote rigging syndicate will not be there to give them another stolen verdict. Okay, thank you for your message. This one here says, good morning, sir. I'm Emmanuel from Kumasi. You see, Saka, okay, I think I've read this one. Good morning, bless. Greet your panelists for me. I'm surprised Mr. Saka Salia, who is studying law, has not changed. When MPP was in power from 2017 to 2025, did they allow demonstrators to go near the Flagstaff House? President Mahama allowed it when the MPP and other demonstrators against the suspension of the Chief Justice. Why didn't the police arrest Afenyo Makin and his followers for the breach of public order? The MPP should be grateful to President Mahama. Louise from Dabala in the Volta region.
Let me answer that one. When Okudjato Ablaka was in power, they demonstrated and they presented a petition to the Deputy Chief of Staff who received the petition of the Flagstaff House.
That one, I was part of the demonstration.
Very good. So it's good. Good.
It's not correct. How they are presenting it? They changed the route. We were supposed to come directly from the GVLA office, direct to the place. They changed it and stopped us long before we even go.
So where did you get to?
Where did you get close to Christ the King? But they allowed some two people to come and
look at you.
But other than this, you allowed the demonstration there. What is not correct?
Good morning, bless. Kindly inform Saka that it's Exim Bank that reported the Wontimi saga to Yoko. Okay.
They tried to get the money.
Yes.
Good morning. It's Afenyo Makin and Anabi telling us that their assets can't bail Wontimi. That's a question. Okay. Good morning, bless. Tell Saka Salia that we're in this country when lawyer Chachu Chikata was arrested in church in the Rambo Star. Okay.
If the person is flight risk, and then you know that you can arrest him at this particular point.
Mr. Host, I'll be this final one, then I'll come to Alhaji ABF Hussein. Mr. Host, the embattled Ashanti Regional Chairman Wuntumi, has this scheming and cunning ways to be indisposed anytime he's strictly subjected to interrogation and investigation from the independent state security agencies and other relevant state parastatals. He's only pretending to be indisposed so that he and his criminal consortium can get an ample time to fabricate nebulous narratives and falsehood in order to evade and avoid justice, public opprobrium, and embarrassment. He must be arraigned before any court of competent jurisdiction for outrightly decimating and depleting our ecological zones and many river bodies in our forest reserves. Written by Ernest Evalaf Kwashi from Dansuman. Thank you, Ernest, as usual, for your message and your contribution to the show. Alhaji ABF Hussein.
Let Saka know up in the show that even if Wuntumi will be carried on a stretcher for trial, even wheelbarrow, you will put inside for trial. He can fake all the fakeness he's been faking. This one, the fakeness will not work. But let me come. You see, the Dogombes have a saying that even though the bird flies in the air, its signal is performed on the ground. If a butterfly thinks it is a bird, it should wait until the wind rises, find its movement level. When MPP were in power, in fact, in the last year of the, just before the elections, I'm sure you saw Wuntumi on television, when he was parading gold bars.
So you are looking for the gold.
Seriously, in any country, that man should not have left a TV station. He should have been arrested. When he paraded and was flaunting in a very arrogant manner, call himself power, and they clenched his fist and said, me, want power. Touting himself as one of the most powerful people in this country.
So you are showing him that.
And even said that at a point where I was allowed to have even challenged that even Ashanti, he was more powerful than Nana Otufo. I just want you to know that power is transient. And that if you have power, don't use it to suppress the people and flaunt your wealth, and especially if that wealth is ill-gotten.
I'm happy you know
I'm coming.
Power is transient.
Yes, it's a fact.
I'm happy you know it.
It's a fact. But we're talking about the use, not the arrogant, flamboyant manner in which he and some and people. And I'm telling you, that I will be the first to consider there are decent people in the MPP who frown on what is happening. I'll just
including Saka, deep down his heart.
Yes, deep. Saka, if I tell you to put your hand on your heart and say you believe what you just said, in fact, you look at it. Oh, Masa. Oh, yeah. You don't. The thing is just touching your bones there. It's not going nowhere. On the Juma. On the Juma. You will not. I'm telling you. Look. I am beside myself with read this one, and I think I have to control myself. He listening to Saka. Because see, if your buttocks is stuck full of cotton wool, you don't jump over bonfire. If you want to sit in this studio and recount what MPP did to NDC people, starting from 2001, and worst of all, from 2017, when innocent people were picked even from their homes, from even churches, like it happened to Chachuchikata, where he had gone to worship. At least that is the sacred place. Wait for him to finish the church services and come out. You did all manner of inhumane, undignifying things to people. Horrible, unspeakable brutality that you meted out to people in this country. Innocent people. Saka, you were here talking about malicious prosecutions under your lawless and incompetent attorney general. Damn it. Nobody ever did more malicious prosecutions than that man. He was worse than a foot soldier. Not to talk about an attorney general. He was going directly. I'll give you that example. It came out even himself in conversations secretly that were recorded. That he said that he was going after Jachi because one, he wanted to reduce the number of NDC MPs so that the E-levy could pass. Yes, I'm telling you. And secondly, that he was under pressure from Nana Akufo-Addo himself to ensure that there will be a by-election in Asino. He did. It came out. I'm telling you. Okay. It was a matter of public record that this came out. Okay. So don't in any way attempt to link NDC with that illegality. Let me tell you, in this thing that you are saying that NDC is not thinking and acting in conformity. Can you show one law that has been violated? Ever since President Mama took the reins of this government, he's been very careful to do that. All his acts are in conformity with the law. Oh. In this particular matter, where has the NDC breached the law? Where? Are you by any logic suggesting that Wotubi cannot be arrested?
No, he can be arrested.
Is he about the law? Is he about the law? What does it mean?
He found the right place to seek redress.
Yeah. He should go to court. So that's what I'm saying.
Found the right place to seek redress.
Yeah. He should go to court. So that's what I'm saying. So the NDC has not violated an iota of the laws of the constitution of this republic. They have taken it to me through the legitimate legal process. And so if he had any problem with challenging conditions of his bail, he knows what to do. His lawyers know what to do. So he was not denied bail. He has been given bail. Why? So this is a man. This is a man who boasts that he has property in billions of cities across this country. You don't post a 50 million bail. I am just saying that if you
said he wanted to buy Chelsea.
Yes, he wanted to buy Chelsea. Chelsea.
So your bail condition.
So a man who has money to buy Chelsea, he can post a bail condition of 50 million Ghana cedis. What a joke!
Solid
you see what I mean?
Solid money.
He said solid money. He was showing Ghanaians gold bars. Me want to be sika to get
the money.
He's saying that he has property. And you can post a 50 million. Just Saka, if I'm angry, I can post near you and you can post 50 million bail. He can't.
No, you can be me.
You see, he has made all this, and if he has a problem with it, his lawyers know what to do. So the NDC, let it be on record, has not violated an iota of the law. We have taken him to the due process. Unless you are arguing that Mutumi is a god for the MPP and nobody can touch him. If he's a god for you, to us he's a minnow, he's a midget. He is nobody. He's just like any other citizen of this republic and is subject to the laws of this country and can be arrested and taken through the legal due process. And that is exactly what we are doing, and we will not be intimidated. Don't bend ties, bend articulators. In fact, your leaders of the party are going to sit at what do you call the place? Yoko office. They can, when they finish, they can go and sit at the Kole Lagoon. It won't change anything. It won't change anything. The NDC will ensure that the mandate of accountability given to President John Dramani Mahama will carry to the full. You cannot entice.
Is directing Yoko what to do?
No, I am telling you that these are state institutions under President Mahama's watch. He will allow state institutions to work. What the lawlessness you went and exhibited at Yoko was an attempt to intimidate Yoko from working, and that's why I told you that if you know Raymond Nacha, he's a strong, solid guy. You cannot. Those people who have this handful of people you carry to the place to go and make noise cannot intimidate him from working. He will carry out the mandate of Yoko to the best of his ability. You will not be scared. You can't frighten a king warrior with a mustache. You know that. Now let me come to the issues that have come up in the public domain. I indicated that there are some decent members of the MPP who are even against this thing. I was just reading a statement from the General Secretary complaining that Justin Kodia, that there are some people in the MPP who are pushing him that they should withdraw from what they are doing because it's not proper. And that is not in conformity with MPP's credential as a democratic-minded party, whose members tout the rule of law and the constitutional dispensation as one of their biggest trump cards. Because what you are doing now is undermining the party's image and integrity. and contributing to making the NPP worse than before. And that if your care is not taken and you continue on this trajectory, the next election, you will not even get 30% of the vote. Because you are making Ghanaians very angry. And why the anger is because of the lawlessness we are exhibiting on the streets. Yesterday's edition on the street, they assaulted people, including a Joy FM journalist.
Police officer.
Does it give you the right that if you're staging a demonstration, you should assault innocent citizens going about their normal duties?
The party came out to apologize.
Do you have to do it in the first place? Do you have to do it in the first place?
There's a crowd. The party doesn't even know who did that.
If you go on demonstration and something happens,
the party
who do you hold
responsibility?
Yes. So I am saying that do you have to do that in the first place?
No, but we don't know the people.
So you should be cautious. You will be responsible if anything happens.
Yeah, we accept it.
Exactly. So why should you do that?
And that's the reason why we apologize.
I'm saying that do you have to do that in the first case?
And we said that
you have no right to do what you are doing.
People with excess minds.
That's why I'm saying that your lawlessness is
those in the lunatic
you are lunatic friend, you are MPP.
Yeah, I mean every political party you have those lunatic.
So why do you bring your lunatic friend to a demonstration? Why? Do you bring your lunatic fringe, knowing that they are lunatic fringe, to go and cause confusion and assault civilians?
They will exhibit it when a matter arises. So they are
you are saying you deliberately brought them for them to exhibit it for you to know them.
No, we don't.
So what is the point that you're making? What are you saying?
You are the lunatic fringe among us.
You see the point that
the Hawks.
Really?
Yeah, the Hawks.
Okay. So
among the dove and the Hawks.
No, so who's a lunatic?
Oh no. When you say lunatic fringe, it does not necessarily mean that you are really a lunatic.
Are they almost the same? Lunatic fringe means that you are the extreme elements who commit lawless acts. So even a lunatic is better than you. A lunatic is out of his mind. So when you do something, you can even excuse him. You are claim that you are in your mind and you are committing such crass lawlessness. You claim that a lunatic is out of his mind. He doesn't even know what he's doing. You claim that you are sick. And you are doing things that is out of affliction that even a madman will be an enemy. How can you do that?
Illegally.
Can you imagine
the public order?
No, this was a spontaneous.
So I'm even prepared to acknowledge that they are very same members of the MPP, very decent members of the MPP who abhor what is happening. If you look at
never even showed that.
Yes, Napo even said the running mate of Dr. Mamu Bawumia said that who doesn't know some of the things he has been doing.
When did Napo say that?
You are not aware. He said that the first day he went to take government money, he went there to start illegal mining. And when did Wuntu? Yes. I'm not saying that. It's in the public.
It is not true.
You are pretending.
You are
pretending.
Napo never said.
What I think I know he has said is that
if you take government money,
I mean, if you are giving contracts by government, you go for government money. There's a day of account.
Yeah. Yes. And that is accountability. He was referring to Umpini.
No, Umpini.
He was referring to Umpini.
He was referring directly to Umpini and told him that if you go for government money and go for government business and enter into government power, you should be a statement of fact.
Yes.
So what are you contesting? Why are you asking? If you're statement of fact, why are you asking me? Why are you asking me that? Where did he say that? Because
allegations.
He's telling you that by implication, but the law. He said that by implication, he should be ready to hold him, accept the accountability that is now on.
But yeah, Untumi is ready for it.
He's crying mama. He said that
he's crying mama because
he said
his liberties are being His medical situation is worsening.
But I can't agree. 10 years in prison.
Saka is not allowed. The way we're talking about.
No, he was taken to the 37 military hospital.
Pardon?
He was taken to the 37 military hospital.
That was just a night.
Look,
2 days ago.
I am just telling you that. Look.
We all know that he has a problem.
breast.
Me, I don't know.
Let nobody fall for this. The man is a fake. He's a fake.
Like your fake.
You remember when he was asked to appear before His Eminence Nana Asatini Otufo? He suddenly felt sick.
No, but it's the same sickness.
Yeah, yes. Oh, yeah, it's the same fake sickness.
No, it's not fake.
It's the same fake sickness.
Fear of interrogation.
No, he has a sickness and he takes medicine all the time.
You can go and commit trouble. When the trouble comes, the medicine there, you don't take it and you fall sick. You think that Ghanaians are children that you can play this funny games on? That's why I said, even if you be carrying in a wheelbarrow or a stretcher, he'll be carried for the Lord to take his course. Nobody will be fooled by this antics he's playing. He will face accountability. No, this is a man that no mean a person than the Minister for Lands.
Natural resources.
Abu Jinapor said it openly that the man was mining illegal Akota mine. They are not giving the authority to go to the, is it Bobri or the forest reserve?
Yeah,
that they were not giving any permission to mine. But you confirm that Akota mine would belong to what's mining illegally.
Don't even come to the conclusion.
Illegally.
If a company has done something,
which company
that you think it is wrong, you have to go for a director. Direct.
Who?
When there is a complete difference between the company and then the human beings.
Who do they hold responsible? Who owns the company? Who owns the company? Akota man.
It's not a one-man business.
Saka, this argument you are making is very shocking.
Saka,
it's very shocking. It's not a one-man business.
Saka,
it's not a one-man business.
Saka, you are reading law. Saka, are you reading law?
No, you talk. What's the point?
What? For you to say that they can't go for the owner of a company when something goes wrong.
I'm saying that he's not a sole director.
They should go for the watchman.
God of mercy.
Everything is like there is no the company is him. What you are doing is like he is the company and the company is him.
So though
God of mercy.
The company,
he's only in court.
He's insulated.
It's only in court that can do the unveiling.
He's insulated from any
only in court. But you see, at the investigation stage,
where did he get the? Let me ask you. Where did he get the gold bus you are exhibiting?
Did he tell you that it is from the company?
Akota money. He said me was scamming money. He
told you that.
Yes, he said it's
only at the court.
When he was bragging at that time, he was oblivious that
it's only at the court.
He was oblivious
that can do that and ask for.
Let me make my presentation.
To be brought.
Saka, sometimes if you do this, your own personality will be brought in. Don't do that because you know that the facts are there. If somebody owns a company and gets into some bad conduct and the case is made against him, he will be held responsible. You can't make this kind of point. Please, don't respect yourself, Saka. We respect you. And like I indicated, the minister said it clearly that they have not given them authority to mine.
Absolutely.
And not only there, and a number of places where this man, if you go and read the Peru's Professor from what is his name is mentioned in that report. Okay, so the crimes this man has committed against the people of Ghana in polluting. Saka, do you know that through the pollutions that have gone on, people have lost their life? Me and you will be accountable before America. You are a Muslim. Saka, you are a Muslim. Don't defend the indefensible. You know that before God, we shall all stand accountable. The crimes that you've committed in polluting rivers for people to drink and die, people to drink and miscarry, terrible things to happen as a result of him and some other people. I'm not saying he alone. All those people are complicit in the pollution of 13 rivers have been polluted. 13. Look, I was telling somebody that it's not the water all of us are drinking. We are at huge risk. That water is not just the clarity. If Ghana water manages to purify, even what it will take to purify it. But even in spite of the purification, the mercury in it, the cyanide in it, all those heavy chemicals in it are not gone. They are inside it. Saka, you are drinking that water.
No.
And you are here defending somebody who is committing those atrocious crimes.
He doesn't drink that water. They import water from Dubai.
But I mean, I drank that water.
They import
direct from Dubai.
Yes.
They import water from Dubai.
No. Bless, am I lying? Yes.
So, like I'm saying, Honorable Kennedy Japan has also weighed in and said all those things, that those of them who are in frontline politics and they are doing these kind of things, they should be ready for accountability. And that today if they are holding Wontumi accountable, he must accept it and obey the law. Okay? So it is not. If you make that kind of this thing that it is NDC, it is an attempt to hold somebody who has infringed the laws of this country accountable. Unless you are telling us that he is above the law, and like I indicated to you, if he is not above the law, and not a single item of our laws have been violated, the procedure has been very, very clear, and nobody, unlike you people who go and break people's doors, arrest people in church, mete out all sorts of atrocities.
Arrest someone in church, you are breaking the law.
I'm not saying. I'm saying that it is inhumane.
I'm talking about law.
Yes, I'm saying that.
So is it not also inhumane to give an excessive bail condition?
Which is excessive? 50 million.
So
for a man who claims he can buy Chelsea, a man who claims he has money enough to buy Chelsea, 50 million is what?
Compare the amount of
feet.
money he received from KOKU board.
Yes.
Compare the amount of money he received from Exim Bank. Put it all together.
So you didn't do any work and then he just gave me.
That 50 million is about having a 10% of the money he received.
KOKU roads.
And let me come. This KOKU roads, it was not NDC, it's MPP people who held the press conference.
Yes.
In Kumasi,
Yes.
in the heart of Ashanti region,
Yes.
MPP constituency executives,
Yeah.
in Kumasi, held a press conference and started naming the roads. As a Winsu Boduasu and Koranza Road, they counted roads more than 20 that Untumi wanted to KOKU roads money. He has not executed a single part of the jobs. And you think that this is a man is so untouchable because he's a demigod to some of them.
I'm telling you, if President Mahama fails to jail
my brother, don't do this to yourself and to this country. This man is a walking crime, and so I'm sure that there's no way would all this is coming. Anybody should be petrified into inaction because of the hula baloo people. You've gathered just a few of your vociferous supporters to go and make noise and think that you intimidate the state agencies.
They are all the hopes in there. Look at even what they did to hopes in
no one will be intimidated. And so let me say, for this fake illness is I've said it that if a lion is fond of patronizing the market, they will treat it like a puppy.
I think they should
just
be a
get sick
medical
all the time.
report.
Anytime you are wanted for a case, people will just know that you are a fake. And you are faking illness to.
So you know how to take.
And I want to see a medical doctor
You know how to defend
this. It's pediatric.
So you know how to
Just give me a medical report.
Where is the medical report?
Where's the medical report?
Where is the medical report?
I want to see a doctor.
I'm just asking you.
I want to see a medical doctor.
bring in the
Somebody to prove this this is a court.
You as your council of state. You couldn't detect a fake doctor.
So my decision is that the MPP are running away from accountability, and in running away from accountability, they know that once they take Muntumi and he faces the law, similar people who have committed such transgressions against our country, against our people, against our resources, will follow, because President Mahama has pledged as part of the ringing endorsement. And take note, this is the biggest mandate under the aegis of the Fourth Republic.
No, it's not.
Which one is?
It's not.
Which one is? Tell me.
You know the vote John Mahama got.
I just said
If he had gotten that same vote in 2020, he will still lose the election.
Massa.
So what kind of
you are making a very useless
still
analysis.
lose the
Your
election.
analysis is useless. We are talking about an election and the mandate. The mandate
I'm getting information that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has arranged all sureties for the release of Chairman Muntumi.
Wonderful. That's a president.
PDS.
That's so you see.
PDS. Condition.
Of course, the vice president the former vice president should have 50 million Ghana cedis.
Yes, so PDS. Paluguda. We are waiting. We are coming.
Well, by Palugu, there is no issue. There's no issue. What?
$12 million.
Let's
You people
We are waiting. So I am saying that, look, from the outcry of the, I watched Erastus Asare Donko
Documentary.
when he did this on Akunta mining. My brother, if you watch it and you are a sane human being and you know that there is a God you are accountable to,
And you love the country.
and you love Ghana, you will cry. But this man needed not to have even gotten to this place.
He did the same with your constituency.
He must be, in fact, after in the case of Muntumi, he should be treated with a super sledgehammer.
If you should watch what he has done to this country in terms of the pollution of our rivers, river bodies, destruction of the environment, mining in our forest reserves, it's incredible. You cannot allow this thing to go. Salia, the lives of you should not be defending these heinous crimes committed against our people. Where lives and the future of millions of our unborn children has been compromised. These lands and water bodies polluted will take decades to be able to come back to normalcy. And you are here defending such criminal activities. Please, for God's sake, don't be doing this. And so I want to say without any out of the state institutions must be allowed to do their work. YOCO, the CID, other bodies must not be stopped, and they should not be intimidated or any sympathy sought from them to drop any of these cases, because Ghanaians voted for His Excellency President Mahama to oversee to the situation where accountability will be exacted in every sector of this country. There is no demigod in this country who the law must not touch. So if some people have a cult they are worshipping in their parties, and they think that it's a deity that must not be touched, they must revise their nose. Nobody is a sacred cow. If you infringe the law will take care of you. And so I want to say without any iota of hesitation that the law must take its course.
Right.
The law is the law.
The law is the law.
The law is the law.
Right. So thank you very much.
The law.
Right. My time is up, but of course I can't go without reading a few messages. So MPP has forgotten Woyomi's issue 54 million Ghana cedi bail they gave to Woyomi. Then
is it no more than 50?
Communications team should come out and answer Ghanaians. Bless. MPP, you are going to stay in opposition forever. From Honorable Fosu Yahatatu. Saka, please let me read messages, I beg you. Good morning, Bless. I'm very sad. I'm very sad to see a man I respect so much when he was at the bank is now an MP sitting on the floor in the name of protest, which his last born will not even attempt to sit on the tiles in his room to talk about. Honorable Ajin Same, we respect you, so please don't peddle yourself in the rot. Macarius Boatin. Okay, thank you, Macarius. This one here says, Honorable Afenyo Makin, who did not want to sit on the minority chair in the last parliament, is now sitting on the floor at the YOCO office.
I'll be frank. Well, the spirits allow
that. This one here says, Isaka talking about someone faking a certificate in Ghana, telling me Kufado is the only lawyer in Ghana without a law certificate or legal education. Okay, all right. Thank you, Ken Williams, for your message. Good morning, Bless. This is Linus from Accra. Chairman should be made to drink a bucket full of the polluted Galamsey water as part of his bail condition. Philip Langdon.
He said for any Galamsey who is caught, we should give him a gallon of that water to drink. Part of the one where he wants water, they should give him part of the Galamsey water to drink.
Saka Salia's defense of Chairman Wuntumi is shameless, a disgrace and a slap in the face of every Ghanaian suffering from the effects of illegal mining. His attempt to shield a known Galamsey kingpin exposes the NPP's deep-rooted complicity in environmental destruction. This is not loyalty, it's blind, dangerous sycophancy. Daniel Akbaliok from Sandema sent this one. This one he also says that good morning to the panel. People should be held accountable. Transparency can be realized if it was done. Wuntumi had caused havoc to Ghanaians' forests. Greetings to Honorable Alesek Befia, Office of the Vice President, Honorable Amanda Ochi, Deputy Director of Logistics Department, and this came from Joel Blake from Axim Upper Town. Thank you, Joel for your message. Good morning. The entire leadership of the NPP needs a complete overhaul. Osechi Mensah Bonsu, as a leader, will never supervise this mess. How can you reduce your position to this comedy of error? Say Cletus Hoya from Kaswa. Thank you, Cletus Hoya, for your message. GM, when will Saka change? All along, his argument shows he's a beneficiary of the loots of Ken Ofuriatta and co in the NPP. He began his career well, but has suddenly changed and refused to join Solomon Owusu and co when they were leaving the NPP. Isaac from Ho sent this one. Okay.
Perhaps you should ask Salia when is Ken Ofuriatta coming.
Oh, I mean,
he said it.
Bless.
He will be coming.
Please, is Saka well informed about the allegations for which he have been arrested?
He said
May and June.
And May is ending tomorrow.
Good morning, Bless. Is it really true that Saka is a lawyer or at the law school? He's actually doing his LL. You are doing your LL. You finished. So you are waiting for Makola. Okay, this year. You write the entrance exam. His analyst. So Saka is not a lawyer yet, and he's not attending law school. He has finished his LL this one. So he's now going to. He will now sit the exam that will take him to Makwala. Right.
I don't know.
Good morning. I'm disappointed in Saka's defense of Wontumi, especially when he says it was unlawful to hold him accountable as a director of Akunta mining illegally in our forest reserves. Nuruddin inside Tamale. Thank you, Nuruddin. Bless, may I know, is Saka a Muslim? Please ask him for me. If he is, why is he defending evil? Thank you, Wafayao.
So who is the evil?
The evil has got to do with the act, not the person. He's talking about the act. He's talking about the act.
No evil deeds in me.
Oh God. If there's no what? Any evil deed for people to drink and die or
there's no. I want to share a few messages from Facebook.
Has any court of competent
which court?
Good night, Saka, please. My time is up. My time is already 10:03. Wontumi should be kept in custody until our river bodies are restored to their natural state. Bring good night said this one. Issa Adam says, have we soon forgotten that that is not my opinion. This is not my opinion. Have we soon forgotten that Wilmy was granted the sum of 54 million Ghana cedis? Kaidebi Steve says, bless, Saka has sold his integrity on partisan lines. I'm sorry for him as a Muslim. Good morning, Bless, and good morning to your panelists. MPP members have the penchant to destroy our country through corruption, galamsey, desecration of our laws, thinking that after the destruction, they will run to other countries and live good there. They are never patriotic to the cause of Ghana. This is why Saka is even wearing a shirt with the inscription United Arab Emirates instead of Ghana. GS Hussein. All right, my time is up. He's advertising them so that when he goes for the visa, right, this is where we draw curtains on today's edition of the show. I'll see you on Monday. Alaji and Alajis tomorrow. Make sure you tune in 9 a.m. Sena Nombo and his guests will be discussing the issues. Do have a pleasant day. Bye-bye.